So today we're going to do one-step equations that we have to solve by multiplying or by dividing. So we're going to solve by multiplying and we're going to solve by dividing. If I were you, I would be writing this down so that you can see it while you're solving your equations that are going to be at the end. So if I'm going to solve an equation by multiplying, or an equation that I would see that requires multiplying to solve, would be something like x divided by 2 equals 4. So now, in order to get the x all by itself, I've got to get rid of this 2. And since it's x divided by 2, in order to get rid of that 2, I have to do the opposite of division, which is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by 2. And whatever I do to one side, remember I have to do to the other side. So when I multiply by 2, I end up getting x equals 4 times 2 is 8. And that's my final answer because my x is all by itself. So, for example, I could also have x divided by 3 equals 1. And if I want to get that x all by itself, I've got to get rid of this 3 because that's what's stuck with this x. So now to undo a divided by 3, I'm going to multiply by 3. When I multiply by 3, it cancels out my 3's. But whatever I have to do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So now my final answer, all that's left on the left, is x equals 1 times 3 gives me 3. So that's what problems would look like if I needed to use multiplication in order to solve them. So now I could also have problems that require using division to solve, and those look something like this, where it's like 2x equals 4, and now my 2 is just side by side with my x, it's right next to my x, so in order for me to get rid of that 2, I need to divide, because right now it's multiplying, so in order to get rid of it, I'm going to divide by 2. That means I have to divide this side by 2. When I divide by 2, it cancels out these 2's. And then I just write down what I'm left with. I'm left with an x equals 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. And I'm all done. I could also have something like this, where I have 3x equals 1. So in order to get rid of this 3, in order for me to get this 3 away from this x, I have to divide. So I'm going to divide by 3. I'm going to divide the other side by 3, because I always do the same thing to both sides. And when I do that, I'm left with x equals 1 divided by 3, or 1/3. And I can leave it like that, or if you want, you can put it in your calculator and do 1 divided by 3, which will give you 0.333 repeating. So you can do it either way. Decimals or fractions are okay. So now, what you're going to do, now that you know how to solve one-step equations by multiplying or by dividing, you're going to write these 5 problems into your notebook. So the first one, we're going to write these on a piece of paper. Your first one is 2x equals 6. The second one is 3x equals negative 18. The third one is x over 5 equals 1. The fourth one is x over 2 equals negative 3. And the fifth one is x over 7 equals 5. And you're going to take these 5 problems, you're going to write them down on a separate piece of paper, you're going to solve them, then you're going to take a picture of them once you've solved them, and you're going to turn that picture in right where you got this video.